Alright, y'all, we back with another video. So I uploaded a video earlier this week about, who the main guy I think we should pay attention to on offense as far as the Panthers game. But this time for this video, I want to go over both sides of the ball, things I think we can do to stop them, what I think we should do to stop them. I really think offensively, this could be the game that we, finally put things together and be competent. Okay, y'all here for the film, so let's go ahead and get on to it. If you guys do enjoy this, be sure to like and subscribe for more. So let's go. Alright, so these first few clips, I'm going to talk about two things. One, what happens when Bryce holds the ball, and two, how we can, kind of mitigate, their best receiver, which happens to be this guy right here. So if you watched the last video, you already know I said they pretty much align him as the X receiver most of the time. He's run most of his routes as an X. He gets all of his targets at X. So the one way we can, mitigate him is to run cover 6. So you're going to see what I'm talking about. So what they're going to be doing here, they're going to be running, he's going to be running a simple dig right here. They're going to be running flood. It's not sail, but it's flood because, he's just running straight down the field, and you're going to have your out route. He's going to release, and you pretty much got, you're going to read this front side thing, get back here. Okay. So the reason why I say we can use cover 6 to, mitigate him is because you want to run cover 6 when your best receiver is isolated on the backside of formation. So how can we find cover 6? We look for the shapes, as Cody Alexander would say. So if we look at the shapes right here, you're going to see what I'm talking about, where we have 4 guys. That's an ugly square, or box. But you see 4 guys for 1, 2, 3 receivers getting out on routes. Okay. And on the backside, you're going to have your triangle, which pretty much acts like a zone double, really a triple team. If we're looking at this, we split it in half. We know this is the cover 2 side. This is the quarter side. We already know 4 + 2 = 6. Okay. We know that this guy essentially is man-to-man sometimes, but if he goes under immediately, guess who's right there? This guy right here. And say, he already has over top help from the safety, and he also, he's accounted for outside too. So really, wherever he goes, there's somebody where he's going to, and there's always going to be over top help, outside and inside help. Okay, but the main thing is you split the field in half. You're going to play box to one side, triangle to the other side. When he gets to the top of his drop right here, now this is pressure bearing down on his face, but as you can see right here, there's going to be, remember, he's trying to hit this out route right here, but you see there's a sinking corner as well. Somebody is over top of this. Okay, so he really can't throw it. The only reliable throw is right here. He's not even looking over there first, right? He's assuming, hey, I can hit this guy on this in cut right here because he's looking right down the middle of the field. That's what I'm assuming he's trying to, because that's where he's looking. Okay, but then you see, once again, he's holding this ball, the pressure gets home on him. And you see still, even when he gets ready to go, you could probably be like, oh, if he had time, something could uncover. But you still see, once again, that, he's running out and he's still sinking. Somebody's still over top. And there's literally 3 guys on their best receiver. And let's think, if he keeps going, that's going to be a 4th guy. Okay, so you only have one option right here. But once again, you have a free hitter basically coming through. It's best to pressure him up the middle. I know that's a general statement, but if you pressure Bryce up the middle, he can't go anywhere. You see, he can only retreat backwards, and it's easy to get your hands on him, as opposed to, coming off the edge where he could step up. So say if this isn't right there and 44 gets, or Trayvon Walker gets home, right? He can easily step up and step out, and that's how we get killed. So if we just get him up the middle, we can kill a lot of these plays. But as you can see, nobody was open. He held the ball. Best receivers out of the play. There was an illegal formation call, and then all you gotta do is just throw the ball away. So, hey, let's do more of this. All right, now the next example is the same thing. So we're still gonna get our triangle to the front, or to, T-Max side, where you have your 3 guys over 2 defenders. And then since we have the 3rd in the running or in the backfield as a part of the 3 receiver side, we're still gonna play box on this side. Okay, so it's still a split field coverage where you're getting numbers over everybody. Okay, so you always have the +1 on this side. You have the +1 on this side as well, right? And so when we look at what they're doing on offense, I'm not even sure what they're doing. I'm not sure what the concept is, but I'm just gonna draw it up for y'all. So you're gonna have Xavier Legette on an out route. You're going to have Jatavian Sanders. He's gonna be doing this glance. He's gonna, I'm assuming, just kind of just sitting there. And then you're gonna have, your mandatory outside release. I'm not sure what this play design is. It's kind of bad, but you really, where are you supposed to go right here? What's the read? I'm really not sure, but you're still gonna see what I'm talking about right here, where we're still gonna get the numbers over everybody. You see, we still have 4 over 2, about to be 3 in a minute, and then you still have your 3 guys over 2, and you're going to see a double team is executed pretty much perfectly. Not a man-to-man double team, but a zone double. So you see T-Mac is going all the way down the boundary. He's already off the red line 1, but you see they're still over top him. Now, the only reason he's not, getting depth anymore is because he's about to throw the ball to the running back. But you see he's underneath him. There's somebody inside, because if he goes in, all he has to do is just pass this off to Foye, and he can get his eyes back on T-Mac. So kid has nowhere to go. The fact that he's getting his yards is kind of crazy, because he's doing it pretty much just dominating one-on-one. But you see, once again, he's holding that ball. He has nowhere to go but to check it down. And this was a 2nd down, and it becomes 3rd and long. So once again, make him hold that ball, get him off his spot, and we can win this game. Now, this last one is not necessarily based on, T-Mac, but it's really just mainly based on Bryce. What happens when he holds the ball once again. So you're going to get a 5-man pressure up front where you're going to be sending your 3 down linemen, okay? But you're also going to add in from the 2nd level right here. Behind us, they're going to be playing 3 deep, 3 underneath. So we're going to have, our deep middle, our outside 3rd, our seam to flat. We're going to have, the middle hook right here. And you're gonna have your other seam to flat. And remember, since he's just backside, we typically lock this. I wouldn't say always, but we typically lock this because once again, it's a 3-by-1 formation. You could just lock this up and pretty much play man-to-man on the backside. And that's also Will Johnson right there, one of the best corners, in the draft. So I would take this, I would lock this up as well, okay? I trust my guy over your guy, okay? We really don't need to know what's going on front side, because he was looking right here because he knew he had a one-on-one opportunity. So he's pretty much running this pylon route where he's gonna push like he's doing like a deep cross, and then he's gonna just bail or go back out as if he's running a corner route, but it's not as high. Like, say you're right here, the angle is way higher, as if a corner route is kind of straight right there, and a sail route is kind of like this. Okay, like it's a difference, y'all. I swear to God, it's a difference. So we're gonna watch this, y'all. Now, they didn't pick up this blitz perfectly. Now, they still get a free hitter, but as you can see, I think he kind of anticipated because he kind of saw it. But he's holding. Free rusher is getting home, and guess what? Interception. So make him hold the ball, and you're gonna get stuff like this happening where if we blitz and we make him hold the ball, it's gonna be terrible, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Now, as far as the defense, now I'm not necessarily worried about the run game because they do have 2 starters out, but I do want to talk about their pass game and who we can attack. So you see these guys in the middle right here? This guy, especially him, he's awful in coverage, but mainly the guys that we want to go after in coverage, are the guys on the 2nd level. So these guys right here, and especially this guy if we're talking about just 3rd level. We can also attack, Mike Jack. I'm not necessarily afraid of him. You can throw at JC, but I think it's like a 50-50 chance right there. I think you can get him on some routes, but not every route. But I want to show y'all what the Cardinals are doing, and I'm going to show y'all what they're doing. And I'm really about to what is this guy on the field for? Okay, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna motion over this receiver, okay, and he's going to be running a pretty much just a wheel route, okay. This receiver right here, he's gonna just kind of sit right here, and then he's gonna go upfield, kind of like a delayed slant. Trey McBride is gonna really just press this seam and go right down the middle of the field, okay. Then you're gonna have these 2 guys run off or hold coverage, right? Not to run off coverage, but to hold coverage, because guess what? If you want to hit this, you're trying to hit this right here all the time. So you really can't, if he's over here deep as well, then you can't hit this. He shouldn't be open anyways, but you're going to see why he's open and why I'm about to get on his ass, okay? So what the Panthers are doing coverage wise, they're running, they're running quarter half. So you're going to have this safety playing high in the deep half. He's going to be the trick safety, which means if this number 3 comes up the field or goes across anything that, crosses this ball, he's got to pick that up. So even then, if it doesn't cross that, you're the 3 up is 3, which means if 3 goes vertical, that means that's you. Okay, you have to get that. So once again, after that, you're going to pretty much have, he's pretty much locked on man-to-man. He's gonna be the wall 2 player. He's the flat player. He's another hook player, and he's just sitting in the middle. He was supposed to he's literally supposed to just favor this side of the field. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. I'm finna just play it. I'm just finna play it because it's gonna make me mad. I hate bad football because this is terrible to me. Okay, so you're seeing everything develop. You have your delay slant. You have your wheel route. You have this guy about to run down the seam. Trey McBride on my fantasy team, by the way. He's a good football player. So look. Remember, when I said you have 3 up is 3, that means if 3's going vertical, that's you. Now, I'm glad we have a good safety two good safeties on our team, because look, even with the motion, Trey McBride is still the number 3 receiver and he's pressing vertical. Roseboom does his job. He syncs with this. Where it goes wrong is because this guy, I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know what he's doing, because you have to get over here and protect that, because once again, this is a split field coverage, so the middle of the field is wide open. You have to close the post right here, and he doesn't. And as far as PFF, I know a lot of people don't like it, but he's one of the worst safeties in coverage. And this is why, because you're supposed to, that's supposed to be you. And bro, I'd be pissed if I was on this team, because what the hell are you doing, bro? I understand you're on the field for run defense, but you can't be this bad in coverage, man. Get to the next one, man. Now, if we do want to go after JC, this is what I suggest that we do. I suggest, he's more of a press guy to me, but even then he does mix in the off man to keep defenses guessing. But they run cover 3 about 50% of the time. So that means, guess what? He has a deep responsibility more times than not. And I think in this rep right here, now for context, they're running man to man. They're in cover 1, so he's going to be the free guy. Now, offensively, what they're running here, they're just going to be running a simple curl flat concept right here, where you have a curl. You're going to motion him over once again. He's going to just be running this out route. You're going to have pretty much a version of snag right here, where you're going to have BTJ running off the coverage. Travis Hunter's going to sit and then kind of go in. You're going to have your swing route, okay? So this is a good read by Trevor, because against, man coverage, you would want to hit this, especially off man. So we're going to see what I'm talking about. I would have envisioned this being Darnell Mooney in the situation, because, he can threaten JC deep, because JC's pretty fast himself, right? And he's big as hell. So I think if Darnell Mooney would have threatened him deep like this, get his hips turned, and then stop him underneath him, we can get easy yards on him. Then eventually he's gonna start coming up, to press, and once he starts pressing, maybe we can get him one time. I don't think we're gonna necessarily beat him on a press, because you want to get him to come up. You don't want him to stay. You don't want him to stay. We're gonna bring him up that way, lull him to sleep, right? Now, this next to last one I want to show y'all, this is another example of us being able to take advantage of, the second level guys, more particularly him, okay? So if we're going to see what happens, they're going to be doing a 5-man pressure. So they're going to be sending, once again, just 5 guys out of this load front. And then on the back end, they're playing 3 deep there underneath. But this is what I'm mad about again. So we're going to let me just draw it up again. If you don't know, 3 deep there underneath, you're going to have your deep guys, your corners are playing deep. This guy looking like he's going to drop down, play the middle hook. He has the seam to flat. Okay, y'all know how I said, these are sometimes, match based, where if these guys take a certain release or something, they're going to match it, right? But this is what I don't get. This guy right here plays it like it's man to man. So what we're going to get here, we're going to get a through route by the number 2 receiver. He's just going to run off coverage. BTJ is going to run off coverage, okay? And you're going to get this guy just sitting down in space right here, okay? And he's wide open, and that's an understatement. So y'all going to see what I'm talking about. We're watching him once again, because what is he on the field for outside of stopping the run? So we watch this play through, okay? You're going to see what I'm talking about. You're going to get him completely ignoring his assignment and just following, this guy across the field. And you see that's supposed to be his assignment. So once again, if he just releases inside, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to communicate that and then zone back off, because he's going over across the field. He's not pressing the seam. He's not going out. So if he's going underneath, hey, say zone, and you get your eyes back, to the field or wherever, see whatever's coming. Because guess what? All he does is just sit this down where you were supposed to be. And I don't get why he was following him, because what are you doing? That's terrible, man. Now somebody else is going to get, the catch allowed because you were running with somebody you had no business running with. And then, even then, Travis is still open. Imagine if you want to hold this ball and just, let me throw it when he gets across the hash. That, come on, man. Next clip, last clip. All right, now I think we'll probably see more of this type of coverage. So this is the last one right here. I think we'll see a little bit more of this, because, Zach Robinson said he's seen a lot of too high for some reason. Not surprised, our quarterback can throw it. But this is what, the Cardinals are doing. So with Trey McBride being a very good receiver as a tight end, you can essentially play 3 tight end sets, and that's what they're in. They're in 3 tight ends. That's 13. You could play these 3 tight end sets and him pretty much be the second receiver. So what they're doing here is you're going to have an arrow route right here. You're going to have a stick route by Marvin Harrison Jr. And then across the field, you're going to have a dig, and then you're going to have this guy. He's going to motion over. He's going to come back, and he's going to run out and come back in, basically. And then you're going to have your running back swinging out. Okay, so it's literally just reading from this side of the field to that side of the field. Okay, now defensively, what they're in, once again, they're going to be doing like a lot of these too high looks, I'm assuming. So they're going to be sending all 5 guys at the line, and they're going to be playing a 2 deep, 4 underneath, where it looks like cover 2. Okay, you got your flat players, your 2 middle hooks, and you're going to have your other flat player right here. And once again, we could take advantage of these second level guys. So this guy right here, we could take advantage of too. He's one of the worst linebackers in the league too. So you're gonna see what I'm talking about. If this is Kyle Pitts in line, I don't think we're gonna run 3 tight end sets, but if we get them in the base and we get Kyle Pitts in line right here, and then we're gonna do something like this with Charlie Warner, which I'm assuming I'm not assuming we can do this, because they're gonna think it's gonna be run because he's gonna fast motion back across the field, and then this is gonna leave this guy one-on-one. It looks messy right here, but it's going to leave this guy one-on-one with Kyle Pitts, who I think is a better receiver than their 3rd tight end. I'm pretty sure he's better. I hope so. But you see, he's going to overcommit to him, and he's going to easily separate over the middle of the field. Like, we can do this. I feel like we're going to do this. Now, there are some other plays where I feel like we may see them pull out. Like all the good coordinators, they watch teams, right? But they're going to see certain plays that work, and they're going to install those plays that worked against that defense. So there are some plays I'm not going to show them, but this is, I think, one thing that we actually could do, because we have the bodies to do it, and we have, hey, I would love to see it. So that's it from me as far as the film. But that was it for the film, y'all. Now, I do expect a closer game than what people think. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be like this 1-score game, but I do think we're going to be, kind of comfortably in front. So initially I said 24-13, but then I changed. I'm like, I will give them 3 more points. I will say 24-16, right? I think there'll be moments where we can or Bryce will be able to drive the ball on us, but ultimately they don't get a touchdown. I think they're only going to give us 1 touchdown, and they're going to give us 3 field goals. I think we can live with that. I think the defense will still play good. Now, it is hard to pitch another shutout as far as touchdowns, because that's really hard to do in today's game, but I do think we can just hold them to 1 touchdown and we can win this game. Offensively, I think there's still going to be a lot of run heavy stuff, because their run defense is food, in my opinion. That's all from me. If y'all guys enjoyed this, be sure to like and subscribe for more. I'm out.